Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we have the second Battle Line Network regular season event. We have our first map downtown here with 2nd MS leading the assault for the CSA, whereas 9th Corps is defending. We have our second map here, Schoolhouse Ridge, where the Kelly's Brigade is leading the CSA, and the 14th Brooklyn is leading the USA teams. In terms of our regiments tonight, we have a couple new ones on the CSA team tonight. We have Kelly's Brigade, 2nd Mississippi, 9th Virginia, 5th Florida, and the 1st Virginia Cavalry. Whereas on the USA team, we have 9th Corps, 14th Brooklyn, Irish Volunteer Brigade, and the Jackson's Division. Now with that being said, we can see our overall standings as of right now. It'll be exciting to see how that changes throughout the video and the upcoming weeks. And then here is a list of our current Patreons. Thank you, Azimuth, for being my first Patreon. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this event. All right, here we are, live on the glorious downtown Harper's Ferry map. It should be good. Today, announcing you have myself, Asgardian Eagle, with Corded.
Hey.
And then we have Kayder as your CSA first-person view. You have that on the top left of your screen. And then on the Union perspective, you have Collector, who is leading the IVB. That's on the top right. How you doing, Kayder?
Darn dude, man.
That is good. So, in advance, I will say my War of Rights is acting a little weird. You can't see it on your screen, but it is blacking out. So if I crash, hopefully that won't happen. But, yeah, here we go. Second week of the regular season. It should be exciting with 9th Corps leading the Union team. And then we have, oh, crap, who is leading the CSA? 2nd Mississippi. That's who leading the CSA team for this downtown map. It should be exciting. Corded, what's the normal CSA strategy trying to win this map?
Most of the strategy is just flooding numbers into that Union Road. Most of the time, you'll run down that straight down the road that is like where the CSA spawns. You run down that road, either turn right or go straight into the alleyway, and then use the cover of the houses. The other way is to go for the stairs, which is not as easy to do, but it's a place that is a little easier to hold as an attacking team. But the Union does have 42s, and they've stacked them, as you can see. They've got just about everyone on 12th New York Militia, so they're ready with their buck and ball.
Yeah, indeed. They're all lined up there, ready to go. CSA pushing up to this corner position. Where will they go next? You do have a couple Rambos from the Union coming out, taking shots. Just running up, taking shots. We do have a Union group engaging here. It is part of 9th Corps here. They just ran out, took some shots at the CSA, dealing some damage, and now they've fallen back.
It does seem to me that they're going to try and go for the low road. Or at least the left road from their perspective. Seems to be where they're stacking up.
Yeah, they're all kind of just forming up for now. Most of the CSA is out of spawn. It looks like just some respawns who are killed by the 9th Corps guys. But you have a Union officer very high up the hill. Arminus. I think he's just trying to see what the CSA is doing. But the CSA has not moved yet. It's just fascinating. I'm surprised they haven't tried to charge out one of the sides.
Yeah, they need to use their tickets. Shooting isn't going to be the best way to do that because Union's just going to hide, as they should.
Indeed. Kayder, do you hear anything on the CSA side? Are they talking of moving in, or what's the strat?
I'm not seeing nothing right now. It looks like they're forming a line out to the left. Just taking independent fire right now.
For sure. How is the CSA team feeling?
I don't know. I mean, you know, there's not a lot of excitement, but...
Alright.
Well, 5th Florida's actually. They're feeling pretty hype over here. First VA is just hanging back. Curious as to what they're waiting for. We'll see what they do. They might go left or right.
Indeed. Kayder's going far right, and oh my goodness.
Worth a try.
BLN bias here for the Union? I don't know, man. But anyways. Yeah, I mean, CSA is kind of just sitting back now.
Sounds like First VA is about to do something.
So
Yep, they're going.
Yeah, really this map is kind of like River Crossing. CSA just has to send it a bunch of times, and that's usually how they're going to win. Because Union's got that stone wall, so they've got that road pretty much locked down. And at least on the other entrance, CSA is going to go in like one at a time, basically. Sort of. They have to go around that corner, and it's just me waiting there for them.
I'm not seeing any.
You can see they're already aiming at that corner.
The health and safety aspect.
Hey, what is the IVB doing?
I think they're going to sneak some shots in, which is a good idea.
Oh, they see it.
What a volley!
They just decimated First VA.
You can IVB trying to fall back instantly, but what a volley! Holy crap! You saw them get wiped on the corner there of your screen. Crap. Kind of surprised to see the Union moving out like that, especially when the CSA just does not want to bite.
Oh shit!
But I mean, you've seen the Union do a better job, but Union's still losing on tickets. Second MS is charging now. There they go. KB following in. One man gets yeeted.
Get your load if you shot.
This charge isn't really a charge. The CSA just kind of pushed forward, and they're holding at the corner here, just taking shots around the corner.
Well, look a little to your right. Here comes IVB coming from the stairs.
Ah, here they come. So this is what they normally will do when there's a charge, but there isn't a charge. There's kind of CSA on both sides of this house. Actually, not as much as I thought there was now that I go over it, but wow, the CSA kind of got decimated there. There's still a decent amount.
Behind us on the white fence, boys. We're taking fire. Sergeant Milo, we gotta get the fuck out of here. It's just me and you left, brother.
There's only one CSA guy left up front. Will he make it out? I don't think he will. Oh, he gets a kill. And he's going to get away. Despite all that. So, Union have pulled ahead ticket-wise, and that's something I forgot to mention. Let's look at our numbers here. Union is pouring 4 more men than the CSA right now. CSA does have some artillery. How many to be precise? 4. So there's about an 8-man difference in terms of infantry. So CSA get thwarted back. Tickets are in the favor of the Union by a little bit.
Yeah, keep clear of them.
I'm surprised the CSA didn't fully commit into that charge there. They just kind of sat around the side taking shots, but
Yeah, you can see they didn't really do much where 9th New York is. They didn't take many casualties off of them. But you can see a lot of CSA are dead in that street.
That is for sure. And they have lost a flag. Not like flags mean much on a tinier map like this.
Yes, but they all need to get together. Because once that, they need to have a group that's following up the CSA group that's pretty much bound to die in a charge. They need to have someone up behind them that can actually take tickets off of the Union.
So Confederates all bunched up here. Oh, they're reviving. They have flag. Where's the flag? So CSA is continuing to do shots here. Yeah, they have most of their team. Did that flag just fall underneath the map? That flag is gone.
Yeah.
That actually happened here on Harper's Ferry. The good old map disappearing under the ground. It's still moving. Where's it going? That's crazy.
People here last time, so.
So 9th Corps doing what they. That's a I mean, this map, CSA, it's up to the CSA what they do. It's the CSA who decides if they win this map or not. They are attacking, but
Yeah, and they're still kind of close on tickets though.
they really are.
So they can make the game at this rate end as fast as they want to.
Right.
That is true. We're 10 minutes in. Union's almost down to engaged. I mean, they're fine. Maybe pick it up a little more, but they're fine for the most part. You do see Bocephus here. He's kind of moving a little forward here. But CSA continuing to take their shots. Kayder, how is the CSA feeling right now?
Stagnant, man. They're just, I don't know. They're just shooting, but at the same time, it's kind of working. They're gonna need a good charge if they want it to work.
Speaking,
but, you know.
Yeah. Speaking of a charge, you do have 2nd MS. They have pushed forward here. Friendly's now following behind. They're sitting on this corner here taking shots. They're kind of getting closer. Most of the CI still hasn't moved forward, though. They're kind of still sitting back, maybe to prevent the IVB from coming in the middle like they did last time. And we could see CSA is about to engage.
Yeah? I do wonder if the CSA is trying to bait the people on the stairs to come down so that the CSA's groups in the back can wrap around them on the road near the stairs. And kind of just wipe them out from behind.
Is a possibility. Our IVB's not going. I mean, the CSA hasn't committed a charge yet.
Yeah, so far they haven't committed everyone at the same time yet.
And CSA is just taking some out-of-line tickets out front here. You can see Collector here. Kind of close to the front there. And Union forces the Confederates to engage here. See Natty here peeking around the corner. So yeah, I mean, it's really, this is surprising. That's what I'll say. You do have more CSA pushing forward here on the left side. Looks like they want to move up that way now. It's the 2nd MS leading their team. 9th Corps is trying to get their 2nd win in a row. They won last week in a very close match on Eastwoods against the KB. And now they're so far doing a decent job against the 2nd MS here on downtown. But 2nd MS has a lot of CSA forces here. We have 5th Florida with some 9th VA. They're up in front. Do see some KB guys very close to these 9th Corps soldiers that are across the corner here. I mean, these CSA guys have a hard job trying to peek around the corner here. They peek around the corner. They got 8-10 guys just aiming right there. So you peek out and you're going to die. Except if you're this man. You can just live.
Hubert just went in. He died.
He just... Poor soul.
It's not a bad idea if they want to bait those shots out, but they're not doing anything with it. They're just sending someone out to die. They're not likely trading any tickets for that.
For sure, especially with it being skirmishing out of line.
Yeah, I do wish that 1st Unicav would move up, either a little closer, because I don't think they're going to be doing much with their shooting, because even the little sliver that they can see between these two houses, most of the Union's going to be entrenched behind that stone wall.
And the Union finally go down to engage. So, I mean, we're almost a third of the way through the game, though. Which It's a long time. We have first VA Cav. They have moved up on the right side. They moved up very aggressively. Now they're just sitting behind. Looks like they're going to try to fire at the IVB here. So first VA Cav getting a volley, and they took a couple casualties in the process, but I mean, look how many dead CSA bodies are there, jeez. Actually, I'm gonna quickly look, see how much bodies I have set up. This should help my PC.
Turn that global illumination down to low. That'll help too.
That's a little better, but apologies, but there we go. That should help. The corpses being high, that'll definitely hurt it. So, but besides that, yeah, I mean, CSA is really encroached further forward on both sides, mostly on this left side, just trying to slowly take down the Union. Fortunate part for them, the Union spawn is decently close to this position, so Knife Corps can just refill their ranks.
Your lives are more important than their lives are, boys. They are just Confederates. You are staunch Union men.
Now, I don't think it would be a bad idea for the CSA that's pushed up to kind of line up on that middle white fence and then just shoot at the stairs from there. Because that kind of gets around the cover that IVB's behind. Yeah, right there. You can kind of shoot in their side.
That is very true. They do have decent shots there, and the IVBs are all just clumped up there. And so, I mean, you're guaranteed to hit a shot if you're at least aiming in the general vicinity. But even then, they still have decent shots on you. So CSA is almost halfway to taking losses here. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know what much to say. We do have more regiments with us, as you saw at the beginning of the video. 5th Florida, 1st VA Cav, glad they were able to join this. So, for those of you who don't know, they did join the middle of the season, so we're going to finish the season out and then start a new season with the regiments that have now joined in the contention for the playoffs and all of that. This is more of a trial run season, if anything, to get things going, see how things work before we implement some cool features that have been suggested as of late.
Contention, you say?
Looks like they're gonna go across the road at 25 minutes.
So here we go, 2.5 minutes. So
that's a long time in my opinion, because that's
you can hear
2
it in your
minutes and they're
voice
all together. So that extra bit of shooting is, I'd rather put that to later. Go ahead and get another charge in.
So CSA is actually catching up to Union tickets wise. Yeah, I mean, CSA's been catching up. When Union hit engage, CSA was about halfway down, but Union's getting to that point of almost being halfway down and engaged. And you can see Collector here is doing a minuscule amount of trolling, as they say. Misses his first shot, misses his second shot, misses his third shot. He says it's embarrassing, it really is. And he runs away. So yeah, we're 1 minute away from this charge. The one thing that does suck is this provides CSA time to die. I mean, they're all just clumped up here waiting.
This is probably somehow worse than Stalingrad.
Yeah, you don't want anyone popping out anytime soon, because you want every person available to get in the charge.
Looks like they're going in now.
Oh no.
They need to get a flag across. That's the big thing. Flags are sitting back. There go the flags. Those flags need to get across. Looks like one of them's gonna get across. Is the second one gonna? It gets shot. Was that you, Kayder? I don't know.
No.
Oh, dang. But they get both flags across. They're charging. this 9th Corps group, 51st PA, you do have KB in 2nd MS is a group that is here. IVB's charging out towards the remainder of the CSA forces, and the rest of the 9th Corps has moved over to this right side to engage the CSA force that charged across. Confederates are taking losses. Union is almost there as well. Fighting is kind of slowed down on this CSA left side, and it looks like 1st VA Cav is engaging the IVB. Knight goes down though.
No, you didn't, you dumb fuck. You ain't did shit. Shut up, you stupid motherfucker. I just walked past your goddamn shut your Yankee ass up, boy. You fucking pussy.
You can hear the lovely War of Rights banter. But the CSA successfully getting across here. I see 9th VA, 5th Florida, and then some 2nd MS and KB here as well. So that was huge for the CSA. Loaf here is just going to run across the street like a savage, and he gets across. But Kayder, your thoughts on CSA strategy now? Was that good?
Yeah, this is a good idea now, because now they can split the Union forces up more effectively. Because I think 9th Corps is going to be one that's going after this ally group. They're gonna be farther away from IVB, so they're gonna be farther away from help. And IVB is going to be IVB and JD are going to be farther away from 9th Corps. So if CSA decides to push the stairs, they're going to have a much better chance of holding it.
It's true. You can see all CSA just going from their spawn. Most of them, anyways, are heading over to the far left side. 1st VA Cav looks like they're just holding back here, helping their friendlies out. Respawns coming in and then gunning it over to this side. So we have mostly IVB on the left. You have 14th Brooklyn and 9th Corps on this right side. Using this kind of brick house to the right of point and the fences as cover. They can shoot through the fences. So that's why shots are happening. But yeah, Union's about to hit taking losses too. They're getting close to it. 23.5 minutes left. CSA still in a good spot to win this game. But yeah, Kayder, how's the CSA feeling right now after that successful charge?
They're feeling great, man. But I do think it'd be quite easy to kill them all right now. However, the Union is not aware, I believe, that this fence is transparent and you can walk through it.
Wait, what?
If you look at my screen, I can just walk through this. So the Union could easily charge them out, but they don't know that. So I think they're just going to sit here and do their same strategy earlier of just shooting. Just in a different location.
That is really funny to see. That's actually really funny. We have Bocephus, he just ran off this little railroad here. He's got some guys up here. 5th Florida guys. I think 2nd MS, you can see Natty moving up there as well. So it looks like they're going to try to run up the railroad and take some shots down at the Union. But yeah, Union not really changing much. They hit taking losses, but IVB is still holding this left side, but 9th Corps and 14th Brooklyn, they've kind of fallen back on the right here. Confederate artillery, where was that? It's not even close. I think 1st VA Cav is mostly holding, actually, yeah, 1st VA Cav, I feel like they're holding on the right to just keep the IVB distracted and make it so that they can't go help 9th Corps if they decide to move. Who do we have going up here? We have Natty's guys. They're running up to the top here. Union sees them. Shots being engaged. Holy crap. Oof. 2nd MS just got... crap.
Now we've lost most of our boys.
They kind of got wiped there. Beautiful shots.
If you do look at that that ally CSA group, that white fence that they're shooting through is breaking now. With this new update.
Oh crap! That's cool to see.
It is. I don't think that holds any bearing on the amount of cover that it provides, because I'm pretty sure it's always been able to be shot through. But now they can see through it, and so can the Union, so they can get better shots off.
This is very true, and that's actually cool. I like that.
Like the Kelly's brigade is holding their fire. Wouldn't know what for. Oh, they're moving. They're charging.
So yes, they are. They're going down the left side here.
Oh, no, they're holding.
Now they're moving forward. Here they go. Knight gets blasted here as the close quarters fighting has begun. I mean, if CSA don't get thwarted back, I don't know what. They were charging down a little tiny area. 9th Corps should have been able to blow that up, and blow that up they did. A couple of Kelly's brigades still remain. Zoo saving a man or two. Some guys.
Yeah, Union is. That was a very close engagement, and Union, I guess, all have buck and ball. I'm not sure if the CSA is trying to stack that, but the Union definitely are, and they. It worked for them. You can see a lot of bodies dead there.
Yeah, I mean, CSA lost a lot. Wow, they're almost down to breaking, but I mean, this is a heck of a fight so far. Both sides still in contention here to win this game. There's no really clear winner yet. That charge really killed CSA, but they still got a good shot at winning this game. Yeah, first VA CAF has kind of shifted over here. They're now taking shots at 9th Corps from their right. One of their CSA guys is charging in. What is he doing? It's Goober. He goes down.
Where is your cover? Where is your cover? You're standing in the open. Where is your cover? Where is your cover?
Yeah, I see Randall out there.
Oh, Lord, Wright's banter. But yeah, more CSA moving out to the left. So CSA is kind of giving up the right. IVB just seems to be taking shots at the center area here. But yeah, we're kind of back to where we were a little while ago, just new lines.
Second mess is going for the railroad checks again.
And yeah, you could see them heading that way right now. They are
Everybody's going.
Ah. Interesting. They're bringing the flags as well. It's a little iffy, I will say, but I don't like it.
Very exposed up here. But we'll see what happens.
Shots being engaged. I mean, these CSA Rambos are starting to hurt them a little bit, but not too much. Keep seeing the occasional Rambo or two. Second, actually, the CSA force that is up on this railroad, which is now mostly 5th Florida. Second is still there, though. They're there with their flag respawning. They want to hold that. That's why they brought that flag. But CSA almost at breaking. Union about 65% remaining in the stage of taking losses. But 17 minutes left. CSA still got a good chance here. I mean, final push on a map like this is huge for the attackers. So they got plenty of time. IVB has kind of shifted a little bit. They have their guys on top now. I've never seen the Union do that. JD's here as well.
Bridge in the fucking...
But yeah, Fordham, what do you think CSA should do from now on to the end of the game?
I still think they should charge, honestly. I mean, it's going to have to be some acceptable losses. Maybe have 1st Virginia Cav kind of keep the stairs busy while the rest of the CSA goes for 9th Corps here.
Everybody's retreating from the railroad tracks.
They are indeed. I just watched 9th Corps all try to shoot one Rambo and they all missed. But they hit that guy.
Now, one thing that the CSA could do here, go down to your right.
That volley just put him on breaking.
So that the yard to the west, like right in front of where 9th Corps is, to the right of Natty, basically. CSA could finagle their way into that yard, and then go straight into 9th Corps, right next to the house.
Right here.
Mm-hmm. Also, that white fence, I think sometimes you can jump through it. Those the tall ones. But regardless, they could.
Yeah, he just got onto the other side.
Run through that corner. Oh.
Did he miss that? I don't know. Union's almost down to breaking though. But yeah, we could see they starting to push forward. Second MS here, KB kind of in that yard area. Getting close. They cannot be seen by the IVB JD force on the stone wall. See 5th Florida moving in as well to help with the right side. Will the point start being... Is it? This is a natural decay. It's so very close. The point is going back and forth. Over who has control of it. CSA starting to... Union's... This keeps going back and forth.
Get your loads, bayonets on.
9th VA also pushing up into this yard here. From the middle of the road. Union is very close to hitting breaking here. You do have a couple CSA rambles.
CSA is still gapping it.
Yeah, they are. CSA cannot be charging out though. They got to sit back here and just force the Union to come to them. They can't be doing
they
this.
Most definitely could go out.
Oh, they could.
You can see some of these the CSA officers just kind of going out by themselves and trying to take tickets off of them.
Yeah, 5th Florida charging out on the left side now. They're not really charging. They just ran out and took shots. But
here comes first VA cab coming out.
Going in.
They forced him to breaking. Now here comes the rest of the CSA.
All right, here comes the stairs group.
Yep.
IVB and JD coming in.
Oh, this is... Everybody's in this, boys. Union starting to win around where the 9th Corps position was. How much CSA are left? There's a decent amount. 9th VA, 5th Florida kind of holding in the back here. But the Union look like they're going to hold this push. Yeah, a couple of Union guys. They're charging deep. JD and IVB guys. They're charging really far out here. They get the flag, but I mean CSA will probably just be able to get that back right away. But it looks like Union's going to be able to hold this push by the CSA. CSA is almost going to be pushed into final push here.
Yep, they need to get out. They need to save that much time as they can.
Yeah, Union should charge out right now.
If they go final push right now, they're going to have one less charge that they can do.
Union's got to charge out and kill these guys out here. Can see Union guys kind of pushing forward here. That's what they got. Push them in the final push. Start that timer. Confederates just can't die. I mean, what a kill by Tommy.
Yeah, depending on how much is left on that final push timer when it comes up, Union can hold even if they go into last stand after like a charge or two.
We do see a C.
Because they've spawned relatively close to the point. Yeah, and if they go to last stand, everyone's gonna respawn if they are dead.
Tennessee just charged the Union stone wall and got massacred. And final push, 2.5 minutes remain. But jeez.
The Union's charging. Tiny group of them.
So yeah, I mean, Union's pushing forward here. The Union can just not go in the last stand. That's their thing. Confederates just need to mob charge now, force Union into the last stand. I mean, Union's holding a lot of guys on that stone wall. They're beginning to come down now.
Yeah, CSA doesn't have to care about tickets right now.
Nope, CSA just needs to
They
go
just
in.
need to go in.
Union's going to hit last stand here in a moment. How close are they to hitting it? They're getting there. Last stand in a minute and a half. So all the Union guys that die will no longer spawn in the game. Anyone who was dead can spawn in. You can see them in the distance there. But how many CSA are active on the field? Not a decent amount. They're all going to come in from their spawn, but CSA's just got to get in there. A minute left here. Plenty of opportunity for the CSA to win this game. You can see them all at spawn right now. Pushing in.
You can see that stairs group, they charged out. And I think the reason for that is even if they go last stand, they're all going to respawn back. As you can see, a lot of people came from spawn. That was like at least 30 people from the Union that can come in.
Confederate artillery missed. But the Confederates are now going down the right side. They're going to hit them from the rear. 30 seconds left. Confederates got to have more bodies on point at 0 seconds. And they can force an overtime and possibly win the game. So far, Union still seems to be holding this. Couple of Union left. Another CSA group charging in. They need to get on point. Force an overtime. Points going down. Points going down. And CSA is going to have more bodies on point and win the game.
Wow.
Wow.
Heck of... Wow. What a win by CSA. According to your thoughts.
I think that could have ended faster. I think CSA was very timid to go up and charge them out. But in the end, their strategy worked. I'm not sure what the Union could have done more. Like, they kind of played it as a defensive group should. Maybe the people that were on the stairs could have helped out more once the CSA got in the alleyway. It's a hard thing to do because you can't really gauge how many CSA aren't in the alley and want to charge your stairs out. So it's natural to want to stay in that position.
For sure. Kayder, your thoughts?
Weird strategy, man. I don't know. I didn't think we would get it. But we made it in time. Just in time. On this point, that last group. You can see on the end of the map, there's 2 whole units still spawning in, so.
Yeah. Crazy. Congrats to the second MS on their win. And with that being said, we'll see you in the second round. And here we are with our beautiful second map, Schoolhouse Ridge here. As a reminder, the 14th Brooklyn here is leading the Union team, whereas Kelly's Brigade is trying to come back after last week's defeat and win another match. It should be exciting. This is probably the biggest map we've played in this whole preseason season event yet, so it'll be exciting to see. Quickly looking at our numbers one more time, it's 76 v 68. There is that balance, but I think Corey and I are both spectating on CSA, so there's that imbalance, and there's also about 4 CSA artillery compared to the Union's 1, so there should be that as well. So yeah, it will be exciting to see what happens. Corden, what's the normal CSA attack on this map?
I'd say the most traditional way of doing this map is sending most of the CSA to the right side, where you can see that big tree, and those cross snake fences, I guess, and trying to hold that corner and then pushing towards the point. But some other times you'll see CSA attack from the left side, because that's where the Union tends to hide, because they've got a lot of defilades over there. And the forest shields them from the Courtney battery and the CSA. Let's see. They have 4 people on that. They might have like 2 guns, which would be good. But sending most of the CSA toward the left would either get you close up to the Union, which is what you want as an attacker, or it would force the Union to be more toward the CSA right which is going to open them up to the CSA artillery.
So for sure, we can see CSA is kind of having a three-pronged attack here. You have on the right side here, you have 5th Florida here with Smokey here. That looks like more of a diversionary force. In the center here, you have Kelly's brigade moving through there. And then to their left, you see 2nd MS in the front, 1st VA Cav in behind. Up very far forward here is the IVB kind of in this wooded area. They have absolutely beautiful shots here. They'll take them, getting a decent amount of kills in the process.
Holy fuck, we eviscerated them.
CSA taking a lot of casualties there. They're kind of sitting in the open, though. They're friendly still moving off to the right. In the center here, we have 9th Corps holding on point. 14th Brooklyn to their left, and then JD on the far left with more 9th Corps splitting off there. You can see this 9th Corps group that was on point. 9th New York, actually 51st PA, that's the first tag I saw, I apologize. They are moving up into this kind of defilated little stream area here. Use that as cover. Actually, this group, CSA group, changed direction. 2nd MS, 1st VA Cav. They're going far left now.
Yeah, let's see here. Did they say 2nd MS doesn't have their flag? And neither does 1st Virginia Cav. So they gotta make sure that they don't die. Very important.
It is.
It doesn't look like any of the Union's seen them. So what they can do is go all the way around the Union, get on their northeast side, and have a second side from going down the other side of the road. Plus, they'll have the defilates that the Union likes to use against them.
For sure. So that is a fair point. I mean, 5th Florida kind of holding back. I mean, this is huge. Actually, is 5th Florida in the center here. You have 9th VA. They're up in the center there. They're taking shots. So, yeah, I mean, the Kelly's brigade is kind of reforming in the center here after getting volleyed there by IVB. Very aggressive there on their part. So they are reforming their forces. 1st VA Cav, or actually I don't know who's moving out here. Is it 2nd MS? But 2nd MS is moving out to the far left. 1st VA Cav now following them. So yeah, it'll be very fascinating to see what they do. It doesn't really seem like the CSA is going to be able to really gain much ground in the center area here, because the whole Union team is here and they're only pushing with half of their force, at least for the moment.
Yeah, and the CSA already has good shots available, so they're going to have to make sure that they hit them. Because not many times in an event you're going to see the Union kind of set up in this way. Yeah, because you are very exposed to artillery, especially the groups that are near point, because a lot of the times the CSA artillery likes to use that point marker as a reference.
What?
That is true for sure. Kayder, how's the CSA forces feeling right now?
I don't know. There's not much happening. KB, it looks like they're going to try and get a detachment to flank down the east. So we'll see how that goes. I'm following them right now. It looks like they're going through with it. They're swinging really wide.
Yeah, you can see KB.
I don't know what's happening over west, but...
Yeah, you can see part of the KB is splitting off. They're moving down the right side here. IVB holding forward, though. The 2nd MS, 1st VA group. It looks like that is who this KB group is going to join. Who is it? It is the 1st Missouri. They're moving out that way. But yeah, I mean, this will be interesting to see when the 2nd MS and 1st VA Cav, when they arrive. They have a ways to go.
Show me that
There's like a Union unit parallel to the left of KB.
So we still have IVB in the woods kind of taking shots. You can see how that KB group, the 1st Missouri, they're starting to move up towards the IVB's flank. I think we see the 51st PA. I don't know if they noticed that the CSA are going down their right. They're shifting down to the left side. If CSA push the 5th Florida group, if they push forward, that'd be a perfect timing. But yeah, 51st PA shifted left to readjust to I don't know what. Because 1st VA Cav is going down the middle of the road. 1st Missouri in the woods, engaging the IVB at a closer range. See Collector's view here, telling his men where to go, or rather where to shoot. But let's see, this CSA group, the 1st VA Cav, they're getting very close to the 51st. They don't see him.
Haven't spotted him yet.
I wish they would have charged in the 9th Corps' backs. But they did a good job wiping a decent portion of them. And they successfully pushed the Union there, that 9th Corps group, out of there. IVB did end up pushing 1st Missouri back. They're now moving up onto the road, probably to try to flank 1st VA Cav and 2nd MS, who is moving really far back. We do have 9th Corps here. They're pushing forward. And they are taking shots. 9th Corps kind of moved in here.
In the middle.
Yeah, 1st VA Cav is going to pretty much wipe them.
Now they are countercharging. They will eventually die out because IVB and JD are starting to come and help.
And they do not have a flag.
They're about to go into point and get into 1st Virginia Cav's backside. If they weren't here, 1st VA probably could have won that. We'll see if they notice IVB coming down the road.
They're definitely heading back that direction.
Everybody up and over.
So they see him there. This is allowing KB to get up into that woods. The rest of KB anyways. It looks like 1st VA Cav is going to try to get away here. IVB
okay, so
not
IVB
pursuing.
didn't know that 1st Virginia Cav was there.
Clearly they didn't. They're distracted now. Collector is trying to take shots. Misses the 1st again. Collector not having a very good night with his pistol. 2nd MS though. Union actually lost a flag really deep into their spawn. CSA artillery almost team killing. that's a sight. And 2nd MS is moving away, seeing as the Union respawns are beginning to move down that way. 2nd MS kind of drawn out, but 1st VA Cav going to reform with the 10th Tennessee there from KB. Actually, in the meantime, is this 5th Florida?
Yep.
It is. They have pushed forward here and taken this corner. That's a huge position. And look at the tickets here. Union's getting destroyed here. 14th Brooklyn has to lead their team better. Osama, what are you doing? How is he alive? What the heck? So, CSA taking that huge corner position. 2nd MS kind of in 2 groups now. I'm surprised they haven't moved over to that corner position.
Hopefully we'll get to observe some CSA artillery as Union's sitting right under point.
Exactly.
That is exactly where you want Union to be as an artilleryman.
Oh, for sure.
Looks like a couple of them are starting to aim there. None of them are ready to fire yet, though. Oh, here we go. That was one.
Oh.
Oh, and it goes over them. Hits the other side of the road.
Dang. Just over. The 2nd one goes way over. But CSA doing a heck of a job so far. Union almost at engaged here, and they've barely lost any tickets in the meantime. That was a good artillery shot.
Actually, that one shot high on my stream.
Yeah, I saw blood, and so I thought it hit him, but no, it went through a guy, I think. Or maybe I was just seeing things. That's also a possibility. So, we do have 1st VA Cav. They've started to push forward here. Kayder, are you an officer?
I did. I took some binos from an empty RD slot.
Ah, fair
Oh,
enough.
okay.
Ready.
Take aim.
So we'll see how this volley goes.
You see them. Southeast.
The frontline reporters are now officers. They can get the binos on ground. But IVB in the center here. We do see KB coming up as well. JD near the IVB as well. This is the 10th Tennessee. They're moving up. To the far side, though, we have 1st Missouri. So CSA is coming up on all fronts right as Union's about to hit engage. This point is being surrounded here. Union hit engaged. And we have 51st VA kind of up in the middle of the hill here with mostly 9th Corps there. But yeah, CSA is coming in on all sides. Beautiful chance for Confederate artillery to get some nice shots here. And
Yeah, if this trend follows, I think Union's going to have to turtle up and force the CSA to cap. Because they're very far behind on tickets. CSA hasn't really lost that much.
So JD
It's
and
like a
IVB.
charge on the left.
Yep, they've begun to move forward. Let's see a collector's view here as the officer looking away from the combat as any good officer would. You can see him.
You guys are awesome. Keep it up.
Fascinating. So these shots are close ranged here. You do have some Union on point, but it looks like CSA should get slowly beaten off of here. They do have less men here. And you can see CSA beginning to fall back here. They do have some men in the back area. They're kind of taking the long way around, but KB, the guys that are here, they're getting wiped by this combined Union force. On the other side, though, I think this 2nd MS and 5th Florida. 9th VA here as well. They're holding up on this kind of snake fence here. We do have a group moving far up the hill.
So we got 2 groups moving up. Maybe seeing if they can get some cheeky tickets off the Unions that are coming out their spawn.
You saw, yeah, indeed, 9th VA moving with them as well. We're about a third of the way through this. Union's at engage. Confederates halfway through battle ready. The Confederates do have control of the map. But will time become an issue here? I mean, we're a third of the way through the match. On this trend, Union's going to hit breaking with what? Like, no time left in the game. We do have Demon here. Dying here. But, yeah, no. The Union kind of spread here. Kayder, I don't know if you're with friendlies, but how is CSA feeling right now? Or at least, how are you feeling as a CSA player?
A little scared because we got aggressive there, and I mean we lost quite a big chunk of tickets, and the Union really took none. I mean, if they keep that up, this could definitely turn. I'm heading over to the Tree of Life right now. I believe we got friendlies over there. See how they're doing.
But
looks like they're getting fired on from all angles, up on the hill, down the fence.
yeah.
I don't know. That's Confederate on the fence.
Yeah,
That's
CSA.
melee.
Yeah, CSA is up on top of that hill there, but yeah, a beautiful Confederate artillery shot. A little short though, but the right idea. The right idea. You do have some 9th Corps there holding in the center. On the other hand, IVB and JD holding strong here in the river. To their right, though, behind them on the road, we do have 1st VA Cav pushing towards that way. Union's almost about halfway through engage. This Union blob is moving in mass, though. We do have CSA charging the point.
2nd MS is moving in.
It is 2nd MS. Beautiful Confederate artillery shot. There we go. And 2nd MS, they're going to wipe that pretty easily here. Well, to them, will they cap, though? That is the question. They shouldn't cap. if they can control it. First VA Cav engaging IVB and JD here. Yeah, JD is here. There's also another Union group, I think, here as well. That is 69th New York. Who's over here then? A mix of both. A lot of guys here from these two groups. Spread out into 3 different kind of groups here. First VA Cav engaging on the top of the hill. In the woods, I think it's probably 1st Missouri. It is. The skirmishers are engaging. Back on the top of the hill, though, you do have 5th Florida and 9th VA. They're starting to move down towards the point here. Yeah, CSA is in complete domination of this map. Of course, there is a little man imbalance going north. Speaking of which, has that changed at all? It's gotten a little better. But yeah, CSA, near point. I don't think they should cap. They should just try to continue the strategy. Union's halfway down to taking losses. Union is kind of...
I wouldn't cap now because you can see that there's still a lot of Union on your side that are not, being trapped and spawn. There's a lot of potential for them to recap the point and gain a lot of tickets back. Because they can see exactly how much they would gain now that they can see their morale.
That's something I didn't really think about, especially for the attackers, right? Oh, if we cap here, how much could the defenders regain? Down to the specifics, too. So the whole IVB group is engaging with that 1st Missouri group. Some of 1st VA Cav, though, is in the back, though. They're having some nice shots here at the IVB. Collector, though, doesn't want any more of that. He dies. Looks like K Company here from the IVB is pushing forward. 1st VA Cav still fighting strong. JD moving in to assist as well. Looks like this will be the end of the 1st VA Cav.
You won't do it. You ain't do it. You won't jump. You won't jump. You won't jump. Don't worry about it.
Alright, Union unit coming up from spawn.
So we do have 14th Brooklyn and 51st PA. They're moving to the center here. And they are holding that point. CSA that were there on point are falling back off. It is 2nd MS. They are moving back to where their friendlies are in KB, back in the woods. Zoo here with the 5th Florida, 9th VA. They are still holding this corner position. Union really hasn't tried to take it back yet. Confederates almost at engaged here. Union, about 25-30% of their tickets remain on the engaged stage. Time is a ticking here. As we're almost... Yeah, we are 20 minutes through the match. Kind of crazy to see Union bunching up in the center of the map here. Confederate artillery shot almost hitting there. Just missed them. So the 51st in the center of the point, almost getting hit there. To their right is JD taking shots. You've seen him in the front. They're still here. IVB taking shots. But yeah, you do have some Union guys also really far up on top of the hill here taking shots. It is 9th New York here, but they don't want the CSA coming back up to this position. The Confederates are very close to hitting engaged here. Corded, what's your thoughts? What should the CSA be doing right now?
They could be doing the same thing that they're doing already. They're already taking tickets off them. They just need to keep the aggression up. At this point, I wouldn't cap, but even if they do, it's not the end of the world.
You have some CSA guys moving forward here, getting a little aggressive. They lost their flag. That's actually, is that the CSA? No, they still got a flag over here. Maybe they're just trying to save that flag, but. And Confederates hitting engage, but Union's very close to going down to taking losses here. So most of the Confederates are forming up in this woods here. Most of KB is here. Behind them is 2nd MS. Looks like they just ran back and they're going to run around to try to flank again. 1st VA Cav coming in from spawn. Probably going to join 2nd MS based on historical trends. We do have some Union artillery up on top of the hill, though. It is a Wisp here and Nolan holding this one gun up here. But
yeah, the Union artillery on this map is a little bit of a pain to work with, especially if you're not, if you don't really have anyone with you, which is kind of how one of the other guys that was on here was. I think it was from JD. He couldn't get a gun up over the berm by himself, so he just switched back to infantry, which is a good idea. They're going to need the people. I mean, the real question is what is the Union going to do? Because they're, by the looks of it, almost a whole morale stage down. And I think being in front of that road is not going to be good for them, because that creek doesn't provide enough cover. Even while crouching, you still are liable to be hit, which is going to take, obviously, some more tickets off of you when you're skirmishing. I don't know. What should the Union do, Eagle?
Well, as a non-Union biased person, I mean, best bet is just to pull back to spawn and just hide up there, force the CSA to cap. And then try to charge or take point and regain those tickets or push them in the last stand. JD is actually pushing forward into the woods here, though.
Yeah, they're Confederate left. I'm behind them right now. They don't see me.
Bro, don't Rambo. Don't cause the CSA to lose unnecessary tickets, sir. I would not want to see this.
Spectating. We're spectating.
If I see you die, boy. But,
yeah, I would at least pull this group off a point, because CSA already is starting to get their shots in. There's only a couple left. I think a good place for the Union to be is either at their spawn, or toward the northeast, where they can put themselves between the woods, and if they need to fall back, they have a lot more hills, and they can still go up to spawn. They can go all the way up to those berms and hide behind those. But I wouldn't stay in range of the artillery, and pulling people off the CSA is probably more likely to cap. Just maybe even accidentally just running through it. Yeah. I think that's what they should do. Maybe not necessarily right now. They do have time in taking losses to do that. But I think halfway through taking losses, they would need to pull back if they're behind on tickets.
for sure. So 5th Florida, 9th VA, they're moving up. They're on point right now. They were probably just trying to save that flag, but they're running through it. You could see 2nd MS really deep in the Union lines. 1st VA Cav here as well. KB kind of pulling a little back there after getting flanked.
You can also see 5th Florida and 9th VA coming up. They're going to get right behind IVB here. And I'm assuming 2nd MS and 1st Virginia Cav are going to come up as well and shoot down into that creek.
The JD is charging.
It's going to invalidate all the cover that IVB has there.
Who knew you could see Hearts of Irons 4 encirclements in real life, but IVB charging out before the rest of the CSA can show up there. 9th VA and 5th Florida basically getting wiped there. Unfortunate timing for those two CSA regiments. If they waited a little longer, they could have had 1st VA Cav and 2nd MS and probably win, but we'll see. Both sides getting close here and engaging. See.
And 51st PA has come down from their spawn. They can help out IVB here. Maybe keep themselves alive, maybe keep their flags up. But we're going to see who's the winner here. And we do see JD coming up from the woods. And they're going to be able to get into the CSA side right here.
Yeah, and it looks like... I shouldn't say anything. Got artillery shot. I'd knock down some Union. Yeah, that really knocked down the JD trying to charge. That was a good shot by the CSA artillery. That might have changed the tide of this. But it looks like...
Don't speak too soon. Now we have KB coming from the woods too.
Oh, crap.
Falling right up.
It's another charge. This is the Battle for Pelennor Fields from Lord of the Rings. In the 3rd movie, just reinforcements keeps coming from every single side. And the Confederates will win this in the end. What a story. That's what the Confederates needed right there. Union's about halfway through taking losses. Confederates...
Yeah, so now Union needs to make a choice of if they want to stay back or keep fighting, because now all of them are in their spawn. None of they have no large groups that are not on top of the hill in their spawn.
Indeed. If I were the 14th Brooklyn, I would tell everyone to stay in spawn, force them to cap, but looks like that's not going to happen here. Union's starting to move out of spawn here.
You see lines, form up. Nice and pretty for us, nice and pretty.
Shut up, European.
So yeah, 14th Brooklyn will tell their team to continue moving out. You can see the 14th Brooklyn officer is very far out front here.
It's like KB spotted something.
One thing that I would recommend the Union try is, from their perspective, moving to the right, because they can go all the way down there, and then they can go right back into those big hills and defilades that they're using as the CSA, because otherwise they're going straight down the open field where everyone can see them, even the artillery.
For sure. But Union's sticking up here. Union is kind of sitting up here right now. But yeah, it possibly looks like Union just waiting for the Confederates to cap.
You can see 9th Corps is setting up on those rocks.
Union already just hit KB.
Oh.
Game changing.
That's right, I'm at the parade.
Truly.
What do you think?
They killed a few.
Yeah, it looks like Union's just camping back right now.
Yeah, there are a lot of down flags over here. Both
It
CSA
really
and
is.
Union.
But
So at this point, pretty much the only damage that CSA is able to do is with their artillery. And I would say the best shot they have is against 9th Corps right here. They are kind of spread out, but I guess they are crouching now, so they will be skirmishing tickets if CSA already can hit their shots. If they can even see them at this point. It is a very far away distance to see. And at this time of day, the sun is in their eyes.
so, yeah, I mean, Union's forcing CSA to cap.
And it's just
Yeah,
pulling back.
Yeah, CSA, I mean, this is just going to be a waiting game. I mean, look at the waiting game on the beautiful battlefield.
Yeah, this definitely qualifies as a CSA bias map. It's very rare that you see the CSA on final push having to run from their spawn. Yeah, it's usually the other way around.
For sure. CSA does not want to cap. I mean, CSA could try to push up to these rocks here. But they would probably take a decent amount with them being wide in the open. But yeah, 9th Corps is kind of just taking some pop shots at the CSA.
Yeah, right now CSA is just going to try and take their chances with their shooting. Because they can see that the Union is halfway to breaking. So they would have an accurate, in about, let's say, maybe like 8 minutes left, they can decide if they want to cap or not with how close the Union is to breaking. Because if they get close, Union's not going to have time to contest that capture.
For sure. I mean, the CSA just needs to keep up shots. They need to. 9th Corps is probably their best bet. They need to hit 9th Corps a lot. Because, I mean, 9th Corps is kind of spread out. They're in skirmishing right now. So, I mean, 3 tickets per kill. They might be hard shots, but they should be volleying up there. Point is being capped right now.
And if you're Union, you don't want to move out at all. You don't want to stick your head out and possibly losing a ticket to go to breaking. Because you might need those tickets when you're on the counterattack. Even if you can get them back, you might not have the tickets left to get it. I don't think the Union's going to be able to do that that last stand counterattack win. I mean, counterattack last... Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're not going to have time for that, because they're going to have like 6 minutes to get the CSA down to last stand, and that's just simply not going to happen.
So, first V8 Cav is going across the map here. The CSA is getting a lot of men on this far right side here. Looks like they might be trying to push up the 9th Corps. The Confederate artillery is taking some shots here. Getting 2 kills there.
Yeah, they knocked a few down there. I think a better target would be on that berm. There's a pretty condensed line there, and it's sizable. So if they can hit that, it'd probably be more worth it than where they're shooting right now. Or at the very least, go to the left of the line they're shooting at currently. It's more clumped up over there.
I think that shot's harder, and if they've got these guys down somewhat up on top here, getting away 6 tickets each shot.
Yeah, it's just if they can hit them. I mean, I just saw an already shot land at least like 10 yards in front of them.
So, yeah, Confederates do not want to cap. I mean, Union's slowly losing tickets here. I mean, if Confederates keep this up, I think they have enough time to just
And the
win.
Union might be playing a little bit of mind games. Having people out there gives CSA the hope of taking enough tickets out for them to get a breaking. But while doing that, they're letting that timer run down.
I got 1.
That was a pretty good shot.
Knocked 2. Yeah, that's 3
I
tickets.
did die. That was the 4th time I was knocked down by artillery, and I honestly, at this point, I don't know if I should keep talking about it, because I have to die if I get hit again, right?
I don't know how though.
No, seriously, this was the fourth time this life that I got knocked down by artillery.
And the guy
which,
to the left got blown to bits, right?
yeah, I know. There's just this goddamn hand that I'm looking at. It's just a hand in front of me.
Look at all.
I don't know whose hand it is, but here it is.
Are you okay? Send me a screenshot of that.
But, I mean, Union's slowly taking losses here.
They're getting about 1/4 left, and then they're breaking.
I mean, it's taking them 4 minutes to go down from like what, 55% to now 35%.
It is, but once that switches to breaking, that's a wrap. Because that's a long hill to go down, and it's very unlikely they're going to be able to take that point back.
Yeah, CSA is really they think they can win this game. I don't disagree with that. I'm surprised they haven't tried to push up the hill anymore to try to get closer and better shots. Maybe they're just trying to stay near the point, but this 9th Corps group is making things a little interesting. The artillery has really domed the center area here. A heck of a shot there. That's the type of shot. I mean, CS artillery, if CSA wins this game, it's mostly due to this artillery here. At least at this moment. Not earlier. Earlier, infantry was the star. But artillery, if they move a little to the right here, they get 3, 4, 5 kills. And they're starting to move out. Where will they go? That's the big thing. I think they're just shifting because of the artillery. But 8 minutes left.
Something that CSA could do to try and take more tickets off of them is have like all these groups on the right just push up to where 9th Corps is, because they were up there before. I know it was either 5th Floor or 2nd MS that was all the way up there. Wiping out this 9th Corps group would definitely either put them in breaking or extremely close to it. And now it looks like CS is going to cap.
Doesn't look like it's on purpose.
5th Florida is on point. They are not moving.
No, we're capping. We're capping.
Missouri is not
Zoo
like
says
that.
he's capping, so they will be capping here.
Yep. In the chat, it looks like Knight from KB is saying to cap.
So CSA does not believe they'll be able to win the game in 7 minutes and 15 seconds, so they're going to move in the cap and try to hold the point for 7 minutes. Union will move down the wheel. Confederates have done a pretty good job with charges so far this round. And because of where they're at, they should have a good position to hold. But where will the Union push? Here we go.
Are we going? Help.
If the Union does successfully manage to take that point back, they'll only have to hold it for 7 minutes. Which I think they can do that if they manage to wipe the CSA. Because they're going to have to take time to reform in their spawn and make an attack.
So IVB is moving forward here with the 14th, their general here. All CSA is converging on this point. You see first VA Cav still on that corner position. That's not a terrible idea, so they can try to hold that. But IVB is going to be charging in here basically with themselves. JD is now beginning to move out of spawn. I think that's JD anyways. But CSA beginning to shift to respond to this. I'm sorry, I'm pushing down, but my mouse does not like that. You can hear the greatest remix of South Carolina that you've heard in your lifetime. But here they go. Collector. They're pushing straight to point here. So CSA moved right to try to juke them. Or to get ready. And the IVB's forcing them to go right back in the other direction. See Collector's view there as he leads his men onto the snake fence. So IVB is able to get a foothold here. The rest of the Union team's going for that right corner. First VA Cav is there. It looks like IVB is going to lose this charge, as they charged basically the whole CSA team.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think they were trying to win that. I think they were just trying to keep that large CSA mass away from 9th Corps and JD as they try and take back their left side.
Yeah, that does look like the plan. Union hits breaking. 5 minutes left on this counterattack. So first VA Cav engaging with 9th New York here. And looks like JD is here as well. You do see some Union kind of rambling in the middle area there. It's going to be close on this corner here. It looks like Confederates are going to hold that corner. Confederates go down to taking losses. You do have some in 9th Corps. I see Tommy here. But yeah, Confederates hold on all fronts. 4 minutes and 20 seconds remaining for all you memes people. But yeah, I don't know if the Union is going to be able to win this. 4 minutes left though. Time will tell. The Union might have... no, they won't. They won't go down in the final push. See IVB in the front of this moving force. You see some of 9th Corps mixed into there. JD behind. Respawns now getting out of main and moving down.
Column as we move. We are on the left side of this.
But we can see the Union team, they're kind of split. What are they doing? They're all going right. All going light, led by Collector here. They are going this way. A couple CSA here to stop them. But the majority are now starting to shift this way. 3 minutes. Union gets a foothold here. CSA coming down to stop them. More Union shifting to the left, going to your right to go to point. But it is going to be close. Union's getting a firm grip hold, but most of the CSA is not even daring to respond to that. They're just kind of holding back. Fighting still close. 2 minutes, 40 seconds left. I don't want to say who I think's winning because then they'll probably lose.
Yeah. It is possible for the Union to win this. Yeah, it is possible. They have their flags now, so
they do.
they could just rapid fire collector with a pistol, you know.
The CSA on point need to come over. The CSA holding. Who's holding on this point back here?
Motherfuckers were charging me.
The KV guys holding on point might allow the Union to secure a foothold here. That was a good artillery shot.
Great arty shot on the flags.
Absolutely beautiful there.
Looks like Union's gonna be mostly wiped on that.
Union's left all their flags.
Wow, Union. I mean, Union actually has won the charge over here. They have a couple men left because most of the CSA just fell back on the point. 1 minute about here. CSA's just got to get the point. Artillery's got to get ready to go. And we do have IVB in the front here leading this Union group. A couple of CSA trying to get these Rambos, but yeah, Corded.
So you might be able to see the Union whittle down the CSA enough because they do have a lot of people come from their respawn. The CSA does. It's about 20 to 30 people that are having to run back. So Union might just be able to overwhelm the numbers, but they are quite spread out.
Yeah, and the Confederate shots are quite impressive. They took out a lot there of this first wave. More Union charging down the hill. 20 seconds left on this timer. But wow. Yeah, the rest of the Union coming in. I don't think it's enough though. And I think the Confederates are going to secure a victory here on Schoolhouse Ridge. So congrats to KB on rebounding, getting their first win of the season. 14th Brooklyn handed a loss. Corded, your thoughts for this round?
That's just how the CSA is on this map. They can just push pretty much wherever and whenever they want, even if they don't do it all too well, which they did. They did. I'm not saying they did, but that's just how the tickets work on this map. And Union, it's hard to play Union on this map. As you can see there, they're keeping a lot of people on the left. They're just opening up for artillery, but you can see some shots going off there. I think Union overall might have pushed up a little too much, and that led to them getting pretty behind on tickets.
Yeah.
I think maybe when they went into the counterattack, they could have maybe not went as much a blob as they did, because even on that left side, that 9th Corps was trying to regain. I think JD was supposed to go with them, but there may have been some miscommunication as JD kind of went more towards the middle, or one of the two went towards the middle and not to the left where they needed people. It's a tough thing to do, but good job to both teams.
Kayder, your thoughts?
I think the CSA did great. I think the Union, they tried to attack on a defense map. It didn't really work for them. Great artillery, especially at the end there. That could have gone way different had the artillery not taken out all those flags. Yeah, I think CSA just outplayed them in every aspect, as well as Union awareness was definitely down. I mean, you saw it with the first VA cav charge. IVB wasn't even expecting it. Later, I mean, you saw I got right, like there was a guy within 3 yards of me, Union. Didn't even see me. I was just watching him on binos. I think the Union just got to be a little bit more aware of their situation, and they could have won that.
Yeah. So with that being said, we'll see you guys in the post-game interview. Here we are with our post-game interview for our second week in the Battle Line Network Wednesday event. So we had our first map, which was downtown. 9th Corps led the Union, and then 2nd Mississippi led the CSA in a very close match. 2nd Mississippi was able to prevail. And then our second map was on Schoolhouse Ridge, where the 14th Brooklyn led the Union. But the Kelly's Brigade led the CSA to victory on that round in another tight match. So we have leaders from tonight's event to talk about strategy and more. So first, let's go through our CSA representatives from tonight. First, we have Zoo.
Howdy, howdy.
And then we have Grape.
Hi, pleasure to meet you.
And then we have Natty Light.
How you guys doing? Natty Light here.
And we have Provost.
How's everybody doing?
All right, cool. So let's move on to our USA representatives. First, we have Tommy.
Hey, Captain Tommy. I lead a C company in the 51st Pennsylvania. We're part of Burnside's 9th Corps.
We have Rayce.
Yep, First Lieutenant, Company Commander, B Company, 51st Pennsylvania.
And then we have Collector.
Hey, hey.
And then your announcing team tonight, there was myself as Guardian Eagle and Corden.
Yeah, I was there too. That's all I need to know.
Thank you. So with that being said, let's get into the first round here of downtown. The CSA team was attacking. So what was your guys' strategy going into the round, and how did you guys react to the ever-changing battlefield?
So...
Oh, sorry, you're going with CSA, my bad.
Yeah, sorry.
So, my strategy first round was to initially shoot it out with them. And so we believe that safety by numbers was the best way to actually implement that map, as well as to control the road. And so that was our plan going into it. We knew that the Union was going to utilize the stairs, and that in itself is a ticket burner. And so we were not trying to contest the stairs whatsoever. We were trying to actually just wipe the company on the road itself. And so our plan going into that, it did get a little chaotic because you're sending a lot of people into a cramped road, and especially with both sides being cracked shots, it gets to the point where you're burning tickets left and right. But initially, what we were trying to do is slowly face up our guys and control the corner pocket, and to essentially win the shootout with them. I felt that charges just essentially do not work in that type of game mode, just because of Union positioning. As soon as they spawn, they're able to definitely get a full kit by the time the CSA gets there, and then at that point, the CSA just burns too many tickets. So it was a hard fought map. Kudos to the other officers for their brilliant maneuvers midway through the game. I think they did great. But essentially it was a little chaotic during the game, especially when we first initially got into the ticket deficit, but we kept it just enough, in terms of being close when it comes to the phase of the game, to be able to actually contest the point and eventually win. And kudos to the Union on that. So.
Any other CSAF thoughts for the first round?
Well, the only thing I can say about it, once we finally got into the stroll of it from the plan, I kind of fell apart there at the beginning because things weren't exactly going to plan. But what plan survives contact with the enemy, right? However, one thing that we did do is the 1st Virginia, we managed to get ourselves back in a column. We started firing at echelon. And I believe that was picking off a couple of the good men who kept poking around the corner from the USA, especially some of the men who were hiding in the backyards. But at the end of it, I had the pleasure of, because I heard it was either from Mr. Natty or from Mr. Knight, they had sent a runner over and they had said they're butchering you on the left and they needed help. So with the best I could, I managed to get the 1st Virginia Cavalry and charged over, and we cleared the road. Just so happened that Mr. Zoo and his men from the 5th Florida and the rest of the men from the 2nd Missouri managed to come in with us, and we cleared the road, and we did it again on the end when they were breaking at final stand.
Well, I just think that first game was very close. I mean, they had at least half a morale state bar over us the entire game. I only think towards the end when we were able to cross that road and maybe get in around them, we were able to shove it just close enough for us to be able to push them in a last stand with the last few minutes left and break them down before and get a majority. But yeah, honestly, I thought towards the end we were going to lose that, but we turned it around, whether through sheer luck or great strat or a bit of both. That was a good round.
Any other CSA thoughts, Provost?
Yeah, as far as artillery on the first map, it didn't go as planned. The guns are difficult, targets are difficult. It's hard to tell friend or foe. And we fired a couple times, and the buck stops on me because I ordered the fire and we got some team kills. So we started holding off and trying to hit way back behind point in between the houses and whatnot. But I was disappointed with the effectiveness of artillery in the first map, but it's a difficult map. Thank God the infantry was able to pull it out because artillery really didn't give much help in the first map.
All right, thank you. Let's go on to the USA. What was your guys' strategy to defend on the downtown map, and how did you guys react to the ever-changing battlefield?
Our strategy was to put the balance of the team up on the staircase. I think it ended up being IVB, 14th Brooklyn, and I can't remember. I think it was JD was the Reb unit who balanced over to our side. And 9th Corps was going to hold the right flank on the road, hold that corner. From my point of view, I was leading the 51st Pennsylvania on the far right. We were trying to engage the Rebs at the beginning. We started taking heavy fire, so we pulled back into the alley behind there where we were getting a lot better shots on there. The match really got interesting when the Rebs pushed up into that alley, wiped 51st, and we were just engaged in a point blank, absolutely brutal slugfest. I think just that's where the Rebs really evened out the ticket deficit they had that allowed them to pull that win out in the end. Just backyard to backyard. Nobody could really see anybody else, just firing through fence lines. It was absolutely brutal. I thought both teams did really well, but the Rebs just powered through it in the end, and good job to them.
Any other USA?
Yeah, so first round, like you said, 9th Corps was going to be holding the right, IVB on the left with 14th, who I don't even know if they're worth mentioning because they had 3 people, and JD. And yep, that's exactly what we did. Kind of boring on the left. Shot through the alleyway a little bit. I have to disagree with our team strategy here. In the round, during the round, I believe we totally should have charged out the rebels in the back alleyway. We just let them sit there. Proudly got concerned about the ticket drain, of course, which makes sense. It's a defensive map. You don't want to be too aggressive. However, I feel like we should not have let the rebels ever get a toehold on the south side of Shenandoah Street, because that's how you lose that map.
I completely agree with you on that.
So yeah, the second they charged 51st back there, we should have like full committed, and we should not have ever let them get in that backyard. So I was kind of molding there that we lost that round, but good effort by the Confederates for sure. And yeah, no, so I don't know. It was well fought. Came down to the wire.
And I pretty much agree with Tommy and Collector on that. I was leading 51st on that match. We were just trying to take pot shots on the right side, playing a little too careful. We should have charged down that alleyway. We would have gone out of line, but at least we could have pushed them back, cleared them out a little bit. Just trying to save tickets a little too much. Need to play aggressive on that map, or we see what happens, and CSA can roll the Union side on that one.
Yeah, because once the Rebs get dug in on that right flank in those back alleys and in those backyards, it's really hard to force them back out.
Oh, for sure.
All right.
Excuse me.
So let's move on to the second round now. Schoolhouse Ridge. CSA, you guys were attacking. So what was your guys' strategy going into the round, and how did you guys react to the ever-changing battlefield?
So do you guys want me to speak tonight? It's not here with the strat, because Smokey kind of, between Smokey and Knight, kind of integrated that. But I'll just speak on it.
Do the best.
So the strat was to send, and it kind of went a little haywire in the beginning, but we were trying to bait the Yankees to go to the Tree of Life by sending 4 flags, and some of this, I forgot which companies, but like it was two companies to the right, while spinning the majority of our team to the left, and then gradually pushing them almost like a C maneuver through the road as well as their side of the point to initially engage them. And so far it seemed like everything kind of went according to plan. And so a lot of times, like we saw a couple of regiments that were just kind of like sitting on point, so we just kind of pivoted and engaged them, and that we just kept a mobile kind of like CSA team where there was a couple anchors, and if they were dealing with lots of fire, like it was kind of like hit them from a different angle approach, and to kind of move in and just kind of keep things static. And that's what my thoughts were, and the CSA did like a really good job about that, about like if there was especially like one point in the map too, which I can recollect, where even like there was like a one company that was shooting at us from the woods, and we were able to get behind them and send like almost like three or two regiments to hit them from two different angles. And so it was just a beautifully maneuvered CSA team in terms of like being able to play that map and to planning it accordingly, as well as good communication to kind of like understand what's developing in the battlefield. And so yeah, that's essentially like what my thoughts of what happened.
Any other CSA have thoughts?
The only thing I have to say, though, is that the men on the right flank, that would be the 5th Florida and the 9th VA, who took all the flags and over on the right, was a brilliant fucking job they did. They fought well and they took all the attention off, from what I could tell. Whereas the moment me, with the 1st Virginia, and the rest of the 2nd Missouri came around the left flank from the north, they had no fucking clue we were there. Caught an entire regiment in the arse and just blew them away.
Yeah.
But aside from that, all I can really say is that it was a good, well-fought match. I mean, the 1st Virginia, we were all over the place. We were on the left side supporting Mr. Zoo's left. We were on the right, or when he transferred over on the left, when he finally pushed out from that. We actually fished over onto the right and helped over onto this, I believe it was the 9th Virginia. We had a couple of men with Kelly's brigade mixed in as well, and we were skirmishing up at the top of the hill. We were all over the place. And I think that's what helped us.
Any other CSA?
No, yeah, I mean, I think it was maybe 15 of us altogether, Florida and 9th VA on the right. At first, we couldn't push because they had too many guys on that road, but I don't remember who was on artillery, Provost and his guys, I guess. They really softened up that right flank, allowed us to take the road, and after that, I don't know what happened. The USA just did not have really anybody on their left flank at all to deal with us, which was fine, but they had enough people for us to go and challenge and kill, and we kind of just wiped out whoever we could. We dropped at least one flag because the artillery softened them up again right under the point, and we were able to push them out. And then there was this one moment just right after that we came in right behind at least 30 Yankees in the little creek or whatever it is, stream. We got wiped out, but I think that confusion of Raps coming up behind them, shooting them in the back, allowed, I think, 2nd MS to sweep in from the road and wipe them all out, and that was the point we took the road, and they never got it back.
That's not true.
Something like that happened.
Provost, any thoughts for the 2nd round?
Yeah, as far as artillery is concerned, I mean, our game plan on Schoolhouse Ridge is to try to get the infantry to lure the Union to the Confederate right, somewhere about 30 yards left of point on right, and they did a great job. There's no disrespect towards the Union, but when they didn't move much when we were hitting. They stayed solid and just were excellent targets for us. We would hit them hard and they wouldn't move. And I'm like, do it again, fire for effect. And it by the time we were decimating companies with shots, and finally you would see 2 or 3 guys leave and just run, and they never stayed away from artillery fire. They made it easy for me and my guys, whatever, and they just didn't seem like they had anywhere to go, and they even got at the top of the ridge and were firing down from rocks, and we started hitting that and just decimating them. So they ran out from the rocks out in the open, which really sealed the deal for them. But it was just, it was, no disrespect, and it was a good match. But I think infantry commanders, if you're getting hit, if a couple shots hit you direct on, you got to get out of there. And they just didn't seem to do that. If they did, it was not far apart. It was 30 yards down the road, which is a couple of taps of the gun, and we hit them again. And, the infantry seized on every shot we took, and it just worked out perfectly, so, but hats off to the Union. They fought their hearts out, and, I have nothing bad to say about them. I just think they should, whoever's in charge, you start getting hit pretty hard with artillery, you've got to get out of there. But, that's all I got to say. Everybody did a great job. Infantry commanders just followed with the artillery. The Confederate infantry commanders just would watch it hit, and then they'd seize the moment, and they kept that momentum going the whole time. So that's all I got to say about it.
All right. Thank you. Now let's move on to the USA. What was your guys' strategy going into the round to defend the Schoolhouse Ridge, and how did you guys react to the ever-changing battlefield?
So, the overall strategy was a very interesting one, and I think I should preface this by saying I will fully admit, without throwing anybody under the bus, that I think the leadership of the Union team on that round was ineffective at multiple different levels. But anyways, going forward on this, our strategy was IVB was going to hold the right flank. I think JD was going to be the flexible unit. And 9th Corps was going to hold the left flank until they started taking heavy fire, then they would fall back closer to point. 14th Brooklyn in command of the plan on the battlefield. So what IVB did is we held the right basically the entire game. We pushed up into the rocks. Into the kind of the forest and the rocks. I detached my 2 separate companies. We wiped a couple small skirmishing units. And to my surprise, they kept getting around us on the right. And every time they got around us on the right, I would move one of my 2 companies up to the fence and wipe the unit coming in on our flank. So that was quite surprising. After I did that maybe once or twice, I looked to my left flank and I hear in the steam call, 51st pulling back, and I look to my left flank, and the entire team is wiped. Nobody is on point. IVB is the only unit alive. Everybody else is at main deployment, and I'm sitting here like, what the fuck just happened? And so I move my guys up to point. I'm like, all right, everybody's gonna come down here, right? And we're all gonna redeploy out, right? And nothing was said in the Steam chat. And so we're sitting on point, and we're getting shot from literally 3 different sides. We're the only unit alive on the battlefield. Nobody's saying or coordinating in Steam chat. And we're getting eaten alive, and I'm just like, we're getting out of here. It was the same thing the entire game. It was just ineffective leadership on a few different levels. Inability to react to what was going on. Stuff like that. I don't know. I'm happy with how the 69th New York did on the right flank. When we eventually got back there after being forced back that first time, did a phenomenal job again. We wiped a couple more units, held them back off the right flank. Didn't get hit by artillery once, even though I'm sure Provost, he did an excellent job on artillery from the carnage I saw of our friendlies who didn't pull back. But, I'm still mauling. Could have won that. I'm seething so hard.
Yeah, we had some pretty
See
major
ya.
command and control issues. The plan pretty much fell apart the minute we came into contact with the Rebs. I'll admit to it, my unit 51st Pennsylvania was leading us on that map. We were the ones eating those artillery shots the entire time. Partially that was because I'm still kind of a new leader, figuring out how to lead. And tonight I learned that you have to move the line a lot more laterally left and right to dodge the artillery fire. But sometimes you do just have to stand there and eat artillery fire and just die so the rest of the team can get in position. But I really had no idea what the rest of the team was doing or what they were supposed to do. Our job, 51st Pennsylvania, we were going to hold just left to point the entire match, and we didn't really pull off of that position on the snake rail fence until it became clear that nobody really knew what the rest of the team was doing. So I got us out of there, pulled us back up the hill. We spent most of the rest of the hill skirmishing from that rock, just firing down the hill back onto the road. The Rebs on the left flank, by I think they called it the Tree of Life. We were having some good skirmishing with them. But yeah, we had some command and control issues, which is one of the reasons we lost. But another reason we lost is that the Rebs just did a really good job. So props to them.
I can't really add much in behind Collector and Tommy there. The Artie on CSA side is definitely what won that. We were holding in the road, 51st was, and no matter if we would shoot and advance towards the Tree of Life or pull back to the north, no matter which way we'd go, we had rebels shooting at us. We had Artie just hammering us, and we knew if we pulled up onto the ridge, CSA can take that road, and as soon as they take that road, with the new mechanics of jumping fences, it's just hard to take that back.
Yeah, we were really hesitant to let them take the road, and I think that kind of showed how the battle played out. The minute they did, it was completely over.
Exactly, and kind of as everybody said, once we took first contact, it didn't work out too well, and there was a point where we had a rebel group come from our right flank down the road we didn't even see till they were in our backs, completely wiped us out. And from that point on, that's kind of just where it went downhill. Accurate Artie from CSA and just movement from CSA.
All right.
And another thing, though,
Yeah.
Mr. Tommy, your men still owe one of my guys a set of testicles, sir. That was a gnarly shot.
I take that shot.
Sorry about that.
I got a question for USA. Did Sevi ever say that you should let them cap the points so you can overtime them?
Yeah, towards the end of the
I don't
game,
recall when Sevi left. Oh
towards
yeah,
the end of the
he
game,
did
we were
say that
thinking
at the
about
very
training
end.
that, but it just didn't work out. We didn't have the coordination to pull it off.
That is always his plan.
There might be a point there in Cord where I blew up a little bit and I just quit listening to everybody, so I'm not totally sure.
So
yeah,
yeah,
it was just
nothing but respect. You guys fought your ass off, So I mean, hats off to you guys.
Hats off, boys.
Don't kick yourself in the balls. You did fine.
All right.
I just felt like it was one hand tied behind the back the entire time.
One
Never
person
got a chance to bring that second arm around while we got
who I forgot to ask.
Peter facing.
Corded, did you have any questions for either round?
Okay, second round for 9th Corps. When you're kind of trying to let the CSA cap, everyone else was back in the spawn, back behind all the dirt mounds and such. Why were you staying out in the open with the rocks and skirmishing?
Kind of mostly we're known for our skirmishing, but second, that's just kind of how it played out. We had already spawned in. We're moving down the hill when the decision was made to hold back and spawn. And it's like, well, instead of running up the hill and exposing ourselves that direction, our best choice is to stick at these hills, which we weren't taking a whole lot of casualties there. What casualties we were taking was from basically indirect arty fire that was hitting its mark.
And by that point in the game, coordination had pretty much entirely broken down. I didn't really know. Nobody in 9th Corps really knew what we were supposed to be doing.
All right.
So we just held around that rock. We weren't taking too much fire. Towards the end of the match, we started taking fire once the arty got zeroed in, so we repositioned. But yeah, it was mostly just by that point. Gotta be honest, we didn't really even know that the whole team was pulling back behind the readouts.
There was one point where Tommy and Gustav, who was leading 9th, had an in-game chat of basically, what are we even doing right now? We don't know what's going on.
But like we said, it was just poor communication among the leadership, lack of top-down control.
All right. Another question for the union. Regardless of the leadership decisions that happened, in another time, would you have considered, as you were pulled back, to send some groups far down to the right, but still staying behind the dirt to be, kind of secret, so that when they did cap, you have someone that's already on the right side?
Collector, do you got anything on that one?
What'd you say? Sorry.
Basically, when
if we would send people down to the right, I think they're smarter than that. I don't think that really would have worked. It would have spread us out. And at that point, coordination was so bad, and we were outnumbered by so many. I think it was like it was 12. At least we were outnumbered by about a dozen. If we split our fronts during our attacks, I don't think it would have succeeded. I think our best chance was to do coordinated assaults, and those assaults were not coordinated like they should have been. I don't know if you captured it on the video, but you could see IVB's first assault. We made it to the point without taking hardly any casualties. We completely juked out the Confederates. And once we got up to that fence, I turned around. It was only the 69th. None of the other regiments followed us to charge on point like the commander of the group was commander of the team ordered. I turned around and nobody was there. It was just the 69th, and we just got swallowed. So I like the idea of doing that, but we didn't have the men, we didn't have the coordination, and I think the rebels were just playing so well. I don't think it could have worked at that point. I don't know. It was.
We should have started chanting Fredericksburg.
Are you gonna give me PTSD?
We should have started chanting Fredericksburg as you were charging at us.
Any other questions, Corded?
Nope.
All right. Any other quick comments from anybody?
Join the IVP discord.gg/IVP.
They don't have any good Irishmen. Join the 1st Virginia Cavalry, halfblack.com.
What?
All right.
What is that domain? All right. Run that by me again.
Halfblack.com.
Halfblack.com.
Named off of our old Sergeant Major.
And onlycavs.com.
Aye, and onlycavs.com or onlycavs.gg. You can find us there.
Good night, everybody.
We might need
if we're going to do plugs, I'm always hiring artillery in the 38th Artillery Battalion. So
Do they get paid?
we get paid, and you get better pay and benefits.
No shot.
Oh shit, they got benefits?
No offense, but by 9th Corps, I'm going to Artie.
All right, come on, I'll hire you.
You have dental.
We do. If
Fuck,
your
they
tooth is
have dental.
bad, we'll just knock it out, and it's free.
My payment is whiskey. That's all I need.
Oh yeah,
we got plenty of whiskey. Yeah.
Shit, I'm gonna have to defend boys.
Whiskey and potatoes. You want that?
Give me them red stripes, brother. Sign me up for the artillery.
Hey, look, now if you want a real shameless plug, Battleline Network is looking for announcers and frontline reporters. If you are interested.
No, that's just fucking shameless. That's just fucking shameless.
Wow.
It's not shameless, it's cordless.
No recruiting? This is a video?
Yeah, this is
He's
actually
monetized now.
I just gotta say, awesome job, Artie, on CSA. You did amazing that second match.
You almost
Thank you,
clutched
sir.
up for us on that first map.
Yeah, you really
Yeah,
did.
we had a bad first map, but
no, I'm just kidding.
we we got it together on the second. The first map's not easy, and
The only thing I can say about artillery for the first map,
Eagle, I
it was thank God they weren't firing high explosive. They were firing solid shot. That was the only thing I can say about that.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
With that being said, please like, comment, share, subscribe for more. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Have a wonderful rest of your night. See ya.
Good night, everybody.